now showtime. Come on. Let's do this. Justin,
What's going on? Welcome to the One-Up Weekly Live with John D.
John D.
What's going on, man?
Dude, what's going on? I am so hyped for this show. It's a long time coming. Like, everything's coming to a head. It's almost the holiday season. Dude, we gotta have him. We have to have John D on. I mean,
I'm pretty excited. Before we jump into it, though, we have a word. We have a word from our sponsor. We
have a sponsor?
Yeah, we got a sponsor for this show, so hold on. Here we go.
Are you a YouTube content creator that just needs a little bit of help building eye-catching thumbnails to really draw people in? Well, you need to go visit buythumbnails.com. Use coupon code ONEUP to save $2 off all products. Buythumbnails.com.
All right.
Ooh, I use them.
Yeah,
I use
that's right.
thumbnails. Yeah, so if you go back and look at my old thumbnails, Justin, the reason why you watch a channel because there was a dumb cat with its.
I love that thumbnail. That was good.
I wasn't very good at thumbnails, so I needed something to help grow the channel, and I use buythumbnails.com. So yeah, definitely check them out if you're a content creator. I'm telling you, it will make a huge difference.
All right. So after that, let's talk about what our plan is for today. So first of all, this show is going to be filled with so many soons, I don't even know what to do with. So Ralph, that's why I asked you to bring a little bit of alcohol. Maybe that would help out a little bit. So maybe we can explain how that's going to work.
Well, what do you mean? You just said, "Hey, let's have some fun and bring this." You didn't say anything more than that.
See, so we're going to bring this. We're gonna pour and get ready, okay? And then every single time someone says soon, we got to do it.
What? Are you kidding me?
Every single time someone says soon,
no,
we gotta do this. Yeah, that's the plan, guys.
Oh gosh,
right.
I'm gonna go into our document right now, and I'm gonna reword every question so there's no possible way John could say soon. Because, dude, I won't even make it halfway through. Well, let's just hope John doesn't have a lot of soon.
Okay,
answers.
To do this, I'm looking at the document of questions that we pulled from the audience yesterday. Thank you, Lewis Chambers, who asked the questions. So a lot of people that came in, and so we're gonna be going through that with John. There's a lot of win. So we're gonna have to rephrase the wins to avoid the soon somehow.
All right. Oh, and I wanted to bring this up really quick. So we know that super chats can run rampant sometimes. Like, there's lots of them. So what we did is we have someone outside capturing those. So we're going to make sure that throughout the show, we go back to that document, and we'll kind of talk through those, make sure we don't miss any. So if we miss them initially, we'll get them. Definitely, we'll get them. Justin didn't build the tool yet, but it's coming. It's coming.
But we did also do this. We did throttle the chat. So right now, there's a 10-second throttle on it, so you can't spam the chat. So hopefully that will allow everyone to be able to put in their questions. We're going to go through a lot. We collected a lot off of Facebook groups and some other people that we know, some questions that we have. But Ralph, it's not just John D that's stopping by today. We have another guest.
What, are you filled with what's with all these surprises today? Like the whiskey thing, and now there's another surprise. What
John D's not the only guest. So hold on.
We only have.
It's complicated.
For one guest,
I have to go for 1 second because we can't have
what is
too
up
many.
With you lately?
This
You're
tool
off the handle.
Doesn't allow you to have as many guests as you think. It's complicated. So I'll be right back, and the person's going to come in. Okay, it'll just take a second. Okay.
Okay, that's awesome. He's off the rails lately. Like, seriously, he comes up with this whiskey challenge thing or whatever the heck this is. He's just off the tracks.
Hey, Retro Ralph, how's it going? It's your friend Scott Baccarat from Arcade1Up. Now, I've never been on One Up Weekly before, but here's how you doing, Ralph? I remember
I'm good,
all those videos you did back in the day making fun of our cabinets, and I'm here to tell you about there's something brand new that we got coming out with. It's called the Infinity Game Table, but everyone thinks we did the Kickstarter because we're into board games, but really there's a real reason. I probably shouldn't say this, but next year, put one in the chat. Justin likes to do that. Put one in the chat if you want this. It's called the Infinity Arcade, and I've said too much.
Wait, what's the Oh, come on. We get Scott on and he leaves us hanging. What's the Infinity Arcade?
How did it go? Did Scott join for a little bit? I don't know.
Yeah, he did. He looked really still. It was weird. He looked still, and in his teeth, he kind of at times, he kind of looked like this, and I was like really confused
Yeah,
because I don't recall him looking like that. But yeah,
he's an interesting dude, you know.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Well, that was a surprise that I was not expecting. So thanks, Scott, for joining the show. I don't know what the Infinity Arcade is, but I'm looking forward to that. If that's actually, is that confirmed or something?
I think it's confirmed.
I don't know about.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds
100%.
kind of shady.
That's right. I think they watched that episode a while back. Where we'll have a little card coming up real soon. We had a video where we made a proposal to Arcade1Up to build something, and I think they're going to call it the Infinity Arcade. They already trademarked it.
Well, now you're getting people in trouble. So there was a super chat that just came in. I want to grab it really quick because we are going to get to this. Obviously, he said, ask John what the date is for Star Wars Pinball, and don't stop asking until he gives an answer. So we are going to cover that. We're going to cover the general purpose arcade stuff first. We're not going to cover a lot of the. Justin and I went back and forth on this. We're not going to cover like, are they going to release this title or that title or that title, because we'll be here all day for that. We want to get to the bulk of stuff. So we have some really good questions, like Justin said, from the Facebook groups, and then we have a whole bunch of pinball related topics. So there's a ton to talk about around pinball, but we will get to that. Peter, thank you for the super chat, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it's time, dude.
Is it time?
Yeah. I think it's time, you know.
All right.
When we do this, we got to do it right. So when John D comes on, we really got to make it special. I don't know what you were working on yesterday, Ralph, but I'll tell you what I was working on. I was working on this. That's right.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
What is this all about?
I'll tell you what it's all about. Just give me 1 second, all right? So,
okay. Wow, you look so cool.
That's right. I look cool. This is the coolest thing. This is the coolest thing ever. That's right.
All right. Well, Michael B. the Game Genie says he's on to you. He already knows what you're gonna do, but
really,
I'm ready.
Really,
I'm ready.
Michael B knows.
Can we stop pussyfooting around and get going here? Come on, man.
Now you're being a little mean.
Well, John D's got football to watch. Let's do this.
All right. What's going on? What's that?
Oh, I know that theme song. Oh, damn.
I am Iron Man.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Yeah, here we go. John D is the man and Zohar is the biggest fan. Arcade license guy, he gets the titles that we buy. John D is our fave, but why don't we have high score saves? Aspect ratios, binary filter kind of blows. He's here to give us access to the news. If we ask, what can we lose? Where's my Star Wars pin? He's gonna say it's coming soon. You know he is. Is Outrun the next cab? Scott B said you could tell.
You said soon, dude.
Now, if it's a Pac-Man, then Zohar will have his revenge. Yeah, give it up for John D.
Yeah. What, I heard something about binary bilinear filtering. What the heck?
Now,
that was a crazy song.
just to be fair, the lyrics on that were brought by a guy named Jason. So everyone give a 1 for Jason for writing the lyrics to that. A fan of our show. That was awesome for him to do that.
That's cool. John D, what's going on, dude?
I don't even know what to say. That was awesome, man. Whoever wrote those lyrics. Hey,
that is so cool.
Back in the show. I think, how long has it been? Since June? During the whole IGN thing?
Yeah, I
think so, yeah.
No,
summertime.
It's time.
I know.
It's time for sure.
That
So,
seemed like a
dude,
long
I
time
gotta
ago.
say something real quick.
Yeah,
The elephant in the room is not the pinball dates. It's, dude, you're looking a little thin these days. What's going on, man?
Me? I'm looking a
Yeah,
little thin. You're
yeah,
looking a
dude.
little thin from your marriage weight that you lost. Did you gain some back?
Dude, I gained like 5 or 6 back.
You're
Yeah,
still pretty good. Yeah, I lost a little bit of weight since trying to get my mind and body going on during crunch time. I probably lost about 50 pounds. So,
damn, dude, that's a lot of weight.
yeah, I know it's crazy. Since I last been here, probably like 50 pounds for sure.
I almost wanted to pull the clip from CES. It's wicked inappropriate, but you say something like, "I'm eating
A fuck ton of rice.
yeah, that's what you said."
Well, yeah.
Well, now we don't need to pull the clip.
Yeah, I kind of cut down a lot of the rice, but now I can eat more rice. But yeah, that's what I've been doing during COVID. It's just trying to get my body and mind right. This is crunch time. We
I
got
hear you, man.
a little dark, and I see there's a lot of questions out in the community. So that's why I'm here, and just kind of clear things up. And happy to be on the show again.
Yeah,
just,
we're happy
wow,
to
thanks
have
for
you.
thanks for having me. So
Of course.
I don't know how much time we have, and if I have to go through the beginning of my Niner game, I will to get through all of them. But
What time's your game start?
it's like 5:20, I think.
Okay, we can
Yeah.
we can
All right,
power
let's
through
get
this, man.
let's
I
get
think.
going.
Yeah,
Our
you know
first-
what? I mean, if we go farther, it's up to y'all.
We
So-
got
I think
this.
I think some of the questions are pretty good. Like the answers should be pretty short. We'll get let me kick us off. So we got Michael Bloem from Facebook. He says, "Will there be a revisit of the Gen 1 cabinets for upgraded hardware like lit marquee, dip switches, and maybe Wi-Fi? Is that on the roadmap?"
Well, as kind of a rule of thumb, we don't re-release anything the same way we did it the first time. But if you're asking, are we going to do variations of what we've released? For sure. So what does that mean? I know that the Atari 12-in-1 was really popular. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be cussing so much.
No,
I'll stop that. But
light cussing's fine on the channel.
Okay.
It's cool.
Okay, my bad. So we'll probably re-release a 12-in-1, but like in a Tempest format or something. And we're looking at releasing other publisher 12-in-1s. We'll call it like the Legacy line.
Is that the one you have in your garage, the Tempest?
No, it's not in my garage. It's still in development. It's on paper right now.
Okay.
So we'll do the Atari 12-in-1 in a Tempest because I love that Tempest form factor. And then we'll look at other publishers doing 12-in-1s. I know that's been pretty popular. So, I mean, there's that, right?
Yeah. Well, Tempest is like it's an iconic cabinet design. Are you saying that you'll try to like emulate the cabinet design a bit or replicate that cabinet design? Okay, because that'd be really cool. I think a lot of people loved that 12-in-1. There's some control, things could be better, but
I mean, the controls will be better though in this new 12-in-1. I think the idea though is to really get this at a $299 price point with no frills. It's something that we're looking at this line to be something with if it's your very first cabinet, that you'll buy, and it won't come with a riser, it won't come with a lit marquee at $299, but then you likely can be able to get those upgrades via our website.
Sure.
And I think it's a good start for people to come in, and you know what happens once you get one of these cabinets in, you're gonna want to tinker with it, you're gonna want to upgrade it, but the idea is to kind of, I guess, re-release in some way these old cabinets at $299. Is that good news?
Yeah, that's great news. I think that's really cool.
Would that include things like revisiting? Because it came up a couple times because in certain videos you guys have, it's been a couple videos now where there's a Street Fighter that says it's Wi-Fi and it's always kind of chilling in the back.
You saw that?
Like we saw it a couple times.
Yeah. That's a Easter egg for sure.
Oh, okay.
No,
all right.
no,
So we can.
So these legacy lines, what I'm talking about, they won't have Wi-Fi. They won't have any other frills, but there will be so you saw Street Fighter Live. Yeah, that'll be coming out in a different form factor.
Okay.
In the next year.
Like
I didn't say soon. I didn't say soon. I said in the next year.
Well, thank God, because I already had to take one shot because Justin said
he technically said it, but he didn't say it as an answer, so that's okay. It's okay.
All right. I didn't.
Let's move on. We got to move on, right? If we're gonna get to these other ones. So why don't you go to the next one, Ralph?
All right, Michael B, the Game Genie. He says, when will third-party parts be I'm changing his question a little bit, but he says, when will third-party parts be available on the website? For an example, PCBs, marquees, buttons, side panels, control panels, because all that stuff just says notify me right now. Is that like a 2021 thing, or could we expect it before the end of the year?
We're hoping to have those before the end of the year. Really the roadblock was me, myself, and
Really?
I needed to get the rights to do this, so I had to just go back in my old contracts and get those rights. And now I've secured everything, so you should start seeing. So it's not my production team; it's all licensing.
It's all you, John. It's all your fault.
Yeah, but but December, hopefully by December, if not early next year. But that's the plan.
Cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I mean, Ivan was looking at some of those going. I wouldn't mind buying some of the parts. Like I have other parts from other cabinets that I've kind of taken apart, and I'm like, well, I could actually build myself a Street Fighter if I could just find the control panel with the overlay. Now, of course, I could have it made, but if I wanted it to be like more original. But anyway, so that's kind of cool. That's good news. Yeah. So this one's actually mine. Do you want to? I guess I'll say it since it's mine, and then Justin, you could take the next one. So it said. This is my question. A lot of people showed interest in the Sega Golden Axe cabinet, including myself. I actually went back and forth. I had it in my cart. I had it out of my cart, and I didn't pull the trigger, John. I messed up. I told
you on Twitter.
I know you told me on Twitter. I think you said something like, do it, man, and I didn't do it.
TF, are you waiting for?
I know you did. You said that. You said, "What the F am I waiting for?" And I didn't do it. I didn't pull the trigger. And the day I went to pull the trigger, they were gone. And then all of a sudden, everywhere it was saying they were gone. So, will there be more of these produced? Because it seems like a lot of the community is interested in this cabinet.
And also, could you answer why on your website it all of a sudden it went sold out and then now the price is $4.99 instead of $3.99?
Right. Well, this was a special price just for our website. We wanted to give something special to our fans as well as our online store. So we had it available for $3.99, which is a great deal. Unfortunately, we sold out on it. We didn't expect the demand to be that high because, I don't know, it was unexpected. But yeah, so we're not going to be selling it anymore on the website. So I'm sorry if you missed out on that. But there will be another opportunities to get it, likely in retail. And if at our retail, it'll be $4.99. So if you got it at $3.99, consider yourself lucky. But it should appear in retail next year, early next year, very early.
And you're talking about the States because it's available in Canada, right? On the brick.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So so $4.99 at retail, $3.99 for that special price direct to consumer through our website.
Okay, so we're 3 questions.
Thanks for the support, though. I mean, what happened is like, a lot of retailers were looking at it and kind of they were cold at first, and then when they saw a lot of the reviews and everything else, like I said, we want part of it, but everything got sold out. And again, consider yourself lucky if you got it the first wave.
Cool. So a lot of people
questions in, and I have not had to use this other than you, Justin. So we're doing pretty good.
We're
on track.
So Brian asks, and I'm going to rephrase this. A lot of people are pretty excited about the big buck cabinet with the light gun support. Could you give us an idea if there is going to be plans for another send-in integrated light cab?
Well, let's see how this one does first, right?
Okay.
We should be getting Big Buck Hunter before the end of the year. I would say probably look at like Best Buy. They should have some, and we're really excited about it, man. We worked long, and it was a challenging project, especially to integrate send-in technology and playing mechanics and in our dev group. And I think people be very happy. I mean, this is running at 60 frames per second, faster than the original game. We're using that source code, so it's gonna. I think people will be very surprised, especially seeing the graphics. I mean, polygon graphics and all that stuff. So
nice.
Yeah.
So there aren't any developments like you guys probably have a whiteboard somewhere with light gun games you want to make. But you're saying right now there's none in development. Like there isn't anything that's further down the road.
Of course there is. I mean, look.
Right, well, but they want to hear that part of it.
Okay,
you don't have to tell us what titles, but I mean, unless you want to.
It usually takes for something like that. It usually takes about a year in development, to come through. At least we learned a lot about Big Buck Hunter and how to incorporate all the technologies and our new chipsets and everything else. So we kind of built the infrastructure, and then now it should be a quicker cycle to add fun light gun games, whether it's, I don't know, Time Crisis or House of the Dead or Terminator, whatever those, those other games are.
Hypothetically, right?
Hypothetically speaking, for sure.
All
right, sounds good.
Crisis, House of the Dead. Okay.
So the next
I'm not
question.
confirming or denying anything, but I'm just saying, yes, we do have stuff in development.
Very cool. Also in development, could you give us an update on the new firmware updates, the bug fixes for Pac-Man?
Sure.
And at the same time, maybe you can talk about the new QA program
Sure.
that you have planned rolling out.
Yeah. So Super Pac-Man, we released a patch and fixed that, but of course we're going to follow up with another patch that allows you to, access dip switch settings. You can be able to turn off pixel smoothing and add lives and other kind of fun stuff in there. More details to come. Hopefully early next week. I should have reviewed a build of this on Thursday. I didn't get to see it, of the new Super Pac-Man patch. So hopefully I see that soon, and then after I see it and we evaluate it, it should be about 2 weeks from there. So expect that. On the Miss Pac-Man front, so I think we're almost done with the investigations on what's going on with that. And so what we've seen is that so in early versions that have been released of Miss Pac-Man, the saves are kind of wonky, to say the least, which was later fixed in later production runs. So that's why you see some people having this save issues and some people not.
Okay,
so
that's good to know. We didn't know that one. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's like we found out that in some versions you had to finish a game, then soft reset, and then your score saves. So that's not like the ideal way of doing it. We're going to have a patch. We're working on a patch to fix that.
Wait! Oh no!
No, he said Willie G said he said soon.
Did I?
This is a wicked big shot, by the way.
Wow!
Dang it! So
we've seen that
firmware is coming soon. That's not good.
I am not a shot guy. Okay. Okay.
And then for Miss Pac-Man, other things that we've seen that we've been investigating and fixing. We see pixel smoothing again prominent on these cabinets, so we'll go ahead and fix that where pixel smoothing is an option. And then the sound bug, where the sound's not exactly, it's not being handled correctly. Where at 0 you're kind of hearing a little bit of sound, and I think at 10 it's not loud enough. So those issues will be fixed. We hope to have those patches done within the next 2-3 weeks, hopefully, and other kind of surprise things in that dip switch, which we'll keep under wraps until we're ready to talk about.
So if there's anyone that has experience in QA or like -1 with a lot of experience with technology, is there a way for him to join that QA program?
Yeah, so there's 2 things we're talking about here. I've been searching my network and, of course, the community. We're looking for very experienced QA leads, longtime veterans who know how to do full test plans and stuff. We have internally staff like that, but we are going to ramp up our QA department because it's super important, as you've seen with a lot of the issues that we've been encountering. So we'll have 2 basically in-house QA leads. I can't wait to kind of introduce them to everyone. So we're working on that. And then we have a beta test program. So the beta test program will just be, people from the community who has some QA experience, who has some game experience. And, we're still kind of just sorting through those, requests and applications. But just bear with us. Our priority first is to get our QA department ramped up. And then from there, we'll bring the larger community out to help us with some fun beta testing.
Nice.
Yeah,
cool. So, this question's pretty cool. This next one, it's getting into a little bit of like competitive competition type stuff. But Daniel May said, with your competition coming out now with products that are more value for your money, I think he's equating the value to like more games and things like that. What does Arcade1Up plan to do to counter this? Is there a Multi-Cade in the future?
Well, I mean, you're starting to see us put more games in these cabinets. Like I said, with the 12-in-1s. What do we do going forward? We just got to continue to leverage the good licenses that we have, and I mean, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of arcade games that are coming out that we have rights to, and just kind of releasing them with different form factors, whether it's driving or shooting or skiing, motorcycle, you name it, and just continue just to bring out really cool products. I love what I see with iArcade. I love what I see with that games, and there is room, and especially SNK, there is room for everything. But in terms of competition, we just keep doing things we're doing, but in the right way.
Yeah. Do you guys ever see though this idea of maybe more like consolidating older titles into a single cab, or do you kind of feel like the strategy is still more of the individual cabs with games that kind of fit that category and sort of keep on doing that for at least the near future? Or
well, I mean, that's our cabinets are more than just the games inside. Our cabinets are also about the beautiful artwork around it, and just nostalgia. So it's both, and I think we'll continue to do that model where we have a themed cabinet and then games that make sense within that theme. I don't think we're going to do a full Multi-Cade. That's just not what we do. But we will likely, and then so what you're starting to see is that we're releasing so many different games and early on, and then later on, we'll probably compile those games in like a 12-in-1.
Okay.
And then move on to like the new games that we do. So that'll continue to be our business model, and just getting even, with kind of maybe more upper end, arcade stuff, like stuff from the 2000s and 2010s. Who knows?
Okay. Because I mean, you've got a whole bunch of untapped, really big classic games that still sort of fit that. I mean, there's like people, at least in our age group, there's a whole bunch of games that are still completely untapped that you guys, as the hardware progresses, you can definitely take advantage of. So the next, go ahead, John. No, go ahead, John.
Yeah. And then in the future, there will be platforms that we have, that you can be able to download games. Infinity Game Table is one of them, where you can, it's a whole online store and a console where you can download games, not just board games, could be video games and other stuff.
I did see an Arcade1Up tile on there, and I figured you click on that, it's just going to be a video that's like, hey, we also sell arcade cabinets. But is that Arcade1Up tile for something else?
Yeah, is there any
I mean, it's possible, right? It's possible to have traditional video games on there. Why wouldn't we?
Pair Bluetooth controller, maybe?
Possibly.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, for sure.
So this next one is shifting gears a little bit, but Justin, I think it was mine, but I think you should take it. Just
okay.
Yeah.
So clearly, you've already confirmed Outrun on the show months ago. Can you give us an idea of how many games are going to be on Outrun? People would like to know the configuration, whether it's a stand-up or a sit-down, and it's okay. Go ahead and tell them. Yeah. Tell them all about Outrun.
Oh my gosh. I did not confirm Outrun. I just gave hints.
Our bad.
I don't know.
Right. He didn't confirm it. He didn't confirm it, Scott. We're just joking.
It was Off-Road Challenge was what I confirmed, not Outrun.
Right.
Okay, so let's just talk about it.
All right.
It's not for me to be the one announcing stuff. That's our PR marketing group. But if we are to have a racing title that comes out this year, then it will be it'll probably be sit down first,
okay,
and then have a stand-up model direct from our website around the same time, or if not early next year, depending on production capabilities.
It's interesting that you said sit down first, because we've been getting, when we've been doing our shows, and whenever we bring up racing, it's like there's this divide between stand up and sit down, but it seems like there's more sit down fans than stand up fans. So actually, it's kind of, if you do decide that is what you're doing, sit down first, I think that would be the right choice, because it seems like we're in like this 70-30 split of sit down to stand up.
Could you imagine if it was off-road challenge and everyone's just sitting down? This would be kind of awkward. Like, 3 people just sitting down Indian style. I think that'd be kind of weird. But games, right, on this hypothetical cabinet, I'm seeing about 4 games.
Okay.
And I know I alluded to 5, but licensing stuff.
Okay.
Still good. Still great 4 games though.
So segue into the next question. Will you be announcing, this is from Brock Adams on Facebook. He said, will y'all be announcing I don't know if he sounds like that. Will you be announcing 2021 cabs during the CES window this year?
Likely. I can't wait. Yeah, likely.
Do you anticipate, actually, crazy question that goes along with this. Do you think it's possible in 2021 that CES could be in person again, or do you think that it's going to be virtual?
There's no way.
They already announced it.
January, man. I wouldn't even want to go. I mean, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Justin and I had so much fun. We wish we did. We just wish that we were able to go out with you guys at night. One of the nights during CS, because
we missed that opportunity.
You guys were going in doing your show at night.
Well,
you guys couldn't even have drinks with us,
Well, and then Justin and I had 2 drinks, and we were like, well, how do we plug in this cable? I was like, Justin, I hear echo in my headphones. Like, just do it. Just go live.
Justin's all crying. I didn't get to play pinball. Only Ralph did.
All right, speaking of pinball.
He was genuinely upset about that, by the way. He's like, why do you get to use it?
I know.
I love Star Wars. You don't even like Star Wars.
Well, that is true. He's never even seen Star Wars.
That's not true.
I thought Ralph was lighter than Justin, so that platform really couldn't take more than. But then I did find out that Justin, you're actually lighter than Ralph. So I
think he's skinnier than me now, so he's lighter.
At that time, it would have been a better choice to put. Thanks, man. It would have been a better choice to put Justin on the platform at CS. I was very, very heavy then. Like in the videos in my side profile, you see like there's parts where you see my belly, and Justin's like, dude, you got to like suck it in or something. I can't even film this.
All right. So anyways, speaking of pinball, let's get to the pinball questions.
All right.
So this is from Scott. He said Scott
B.
It is Scott B, but it's Scott Boehmer. He says, what's the reason why the Wi-Fi was removed from the pinball table? Is there any chance they'll be back in place like in a second generation version of the machine, assuming that happens?
So Wi-Fi was really only there to do patch updates, right? And we found out that, we could do the same thing through the USB input through the PCBs, right? And the fat jokes aren't very Rice. That's funny. And so, it was never the plan, at least in the beginning, really to add new games to this. Is really just to make sure that we can update, do patch updates. Now, having said that, also, we had to figure out a way to get to this $499 to, $549 price point. And so Wi-Fi had to just be out in this first run. Now, is it a possibility, for Wi-Fi to get back in Wave 2s? For sure. I mean, let's see how Wave 1 goes. And from all indications, it should go pretty well. Mm-hmm. And then maybe in Wave 2, we have a whole Zen store,
right?
With a new version of, say, Marvel and Star Wars, and then being able to just, purchase games. But it's you have to think about it is it's not just really purchasing games that's an issue, right? We have to test each and every one of these games that are available and make sure that they work correctly. Things like the APKs aren't necessarily plug and play. You have to tune. Mm-hmm. We spent months and months and months tuning the game, each 10 of the games for every cabinet to play correctly with the flippers, with the plunger, with accelerometers, with the solenoids and the rumble, features as well. And so so that's the thing. So when in Wave 2, when we start to bring more content out, we have to test each one from the ground up. It's not just taking the Android APK and putting it in there. If that was that easy, then we would have been released a long time ago.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this at length. It's that, you know, some people that haven't maybe built their own pinball machine or anything like that, or experienced the Android versions versus the PC versions. The Android versions, while they offer some capabilities, some of the stuff that you're adding to it, it doesn't exist in the Android version. Like Zen's having to custom make that to say, hey, how is this going to work with accelerometers? How is this going to work with solenoids? How's it going to work with the DMD screen? Is that all going to cohesively work every time I turn it on? And is it all going to be timed right? I mean, that back screen, if it's laggy between your play screen, then what I'm seeing there isn't going to coincide with my gameplay. So, I think we've tried to talk about it a lot. I think sometimes there's so many people new getting into it, and they just think, oh, well, it's just like any arcade game, so I should just be able to load it up and I'm off and running. And there's a lot more customization that goes along with pinball. So
yeah,
I did want to ask. Go ahead, Justin.
And while we're on the topic, the one thing that I hear a lot is people say, well, it's only $1 for the Wi-Fi chip. Why don't you just throw it in? But being someone who's worked on product development before, mostly back-end engineering, it's not about necessarily how much that chip costs. It has to connect to somewhere. It has to connect to a back-end infrastructure and a team of DevOps and a team of software developers to support that, which is oftentimes pretty expensive. And if you have to make that choice when you're going to build the machine, right? Do we want to spend the R&D development and the chip on this model? Are we ready for that yet? Or are you going to focus on solenoids and things like that?
You're 100% correct, right? A Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi adapter and all that, that's not too expensive. But then, you have to go through compliance testing and all these other types of testing and going through, pretty significant development to make sure things are compatible, all that stuff, and go, through that whole gamut. So, yes, it's not going to be there. But again, the whole intention was, to update games. And, if we do make a Wave 2 with Wi-Fi and, hopefully it also has dual band Wi-Fi and access to Zen Studio library, the people who purchase Zen 1 will provide, an optional upgrade kit.
That's right. It does have USB, and so it's possible to do a firmware update on USB. It's a Linux stack, so you'll be able to do an Ethernet or a Wi-Fi adapter. So, yeah.
Correct.
So there's a couple of... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
No, go ahead.
There's a couple of questions that kind of weave into the pinball stuff I want to make sure we get to, because people are asking about... I'm going to go a little bit out of order here, but people are asking about, hey, I want to know a little bit more about the specs on how it works, right? So so we know, well, I'll get to the release dates in a second, because that's one that people really want, but don't look at that quite yet. But one of them is, all right, is it a digital? These are yes, no questions, I think, right? Is it a digital plunger? Yes or no? Is the plunger, it has a plunger.
Yeah, it's digital for sure.
Because it's no longer a button. Remember at CES we saw a button, and now it has a plunger.
For games that allow for different, I guess, pullback, I don't know how you say it, it'll implement that. So is that digital or that analog? I'm not sure. It's not just a plunger where it just hits a button.
Yeah. No.
It's not that. But it's
gotcha.
So yeah, definitely for games that allow for different, I guess, pull. Gosh, I'm such a non-techie. Yeah, it'll.
Cool.
For sure.
Cool. And then on the DMD screen, what we saw at CES versus now, I think it changed slightly, right? It's like an 8-inch back screen now.
8-inch.
So it changed.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that. And then the solenoids. Do you know how many there are? Because those are going to give you your when you hit the different targets and things like that you're going to hear those fire. So is that?
Okay, hold on. Let me go back a little bit, because I get confused between digital and analog. So I guess in a sense it's an analog plunger because it allows for a different pressure, regardless of a digital analog.
Sorry, I shouldn't have asked it like that. Just basically, does it have a plunger? Because what the plungers that they sell, it's analog in the sense that I guess you traditionally have to pull something, but it's the mechanism inside is digital to say how far back has he pulled that thing, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then the DMD screen we got to, and then the solenoids for the force feedback. So sometimes people get confused here. They'll call it I don't know. The terms are interchangeable. Some say force feedback, some say haptic feedback, but force feedback in the sense that these solenoids.
It's really haptic feedback. If you really want to be, nitpicky about it, we'll have 3 solenoids. Solenoids, however you say it. 2, 1 each side, and probably 1 in the middle. That's probably enough to kind of give you the, experience of the ball bouncing around and things like that. So,
That's
and then
awesome.
you'll be able to replace these because a lot of these solenoids can, there's a certain, I guess, life expectancy of these, but it's really easy to go up under the hood and change them out. So yeah.
So along with that, when you release the pinball, is there going to be different variations of the pinball machine, like Pac-Man? You're going to have like 14 different versions of Star Wars,
No. It'll be just one SKU per, just one SKU per SKU.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All right.
So
on that one, we're just going to pick which retailer we want to work with, perhaps.
Right, exactly. So you'll see that the price is going to be just like in most MSRPs. There's a range to it.
Sure.
So like it's going to be between $4.99 and $5.49, depending. Usually when it's $5.49, that means we're working through distributors, and then the distributor gets you to like GameStop and other retailers. So it could be a little higher. But having said that, when you see the kind of higher price point, usually those will be the ones that are coming out first. So, don't wait on these. If you really want one, I wouldn't wait. So
yeah, you could do what I did with Golden Axe, and then you can't get it now. So
yeah.
All right. So when's Star Wars coming out?
Star Wars. Okay.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
From what I'm looking at my information right now, I see the ship dates, and so if everything goes okay, if everything's going okay with production, which I think it's going okay. We'll start shipping, from China around October 30th, all the way through, the end of November. So, during these COVID times with shipping and everyone pushing all their products through for a holiday, hopefully it comes before Christmas. But if there are some shipping delays, it'll definitely come, before the end of the year. But
wow.
I want it to come before Christmas because a lot of people waiting for that.
So you're talking about it'd be Attack from Mars, Star Wars, and Marvel. The plan still is they will be here before the end of the year. That's the plan.
That's correct. So Marvel, you can start likely seeing that on like GameStop or possibly Best Buy and Nebraska Furniture or something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I don't know who that is.
They have one here in town.
I don't have one
an
here in the area.
store?
Yeah, they have. Well, it's a lot of furniture, but they do have an entire TV set, furniture. They have refrigerators, and they have Arcade1Up there. Yeah.
Yeah, and Star Wars, likely, Walmart.com. So,
of course.
And the Williams and Bally's table, likely. Well, not likely, direct to customer through our Arcade1Up website. So we'll hopefully.
So the Attack from Mars one will be straight on the website, but the other two will be retailer options, right?
Okay. Exactly, and hopefully pre-orders start, early November. But we'll keep you guys updated. I know everyone's, watching for it.
What about Canada? Is Canada a little more next year or?
Canada's likely early next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Did I say that?
Nope. We're good.
Let's keep going.
So there was a thing, Justin. I kind of want you to take this one because I always make you ask the really difficult ones. But that one from the RWTD burn on the GameStop website. Okay. And I'll tee it up a little bit. There was a little bit of drama around something that happened, but I believe it was fake news. But Justin's going to cover this one because I make him ask the difficult ones so that you, if you are upset, you end up being upset at him and not me. So
GameStop posted that they have the Marvel pinball machine, and there was actually a comment. People were asking. Zero Hero actually commented as well on GameStop about availability and the titles, and someone named Scott B responded. And sounded exactly like Scott Bacharach,
Scott. That wasn't Scott.
So
that was Scott Bacharach, by the way.
Yeah. So here's the question: can you confirm the number of tables that will be on this pinball? Will it still be 10, as you stated at CES?
It'll be 10 each, and we'll start slowly bringing that information out, starting like probably next week or if not the week after that, and definitely have all that information out before you're able to pre-order.
Mhm.
Probably make a game out of it. Like maybe if you could guess all 10 games and you get something. I don't know, 'cause that's
Cool.
kind of cheesy,
That's,
but
that's good. So when's Back to the
Yeah.
Future coming? Is that
Back to the
2021?
Future, well, like all that Universal stuff, that's probably no plans yet for that. I mean, it's one of those things that
God, I got you.
yeah, no.
What?
It's just what am I currently wearing pants? Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
is it okay to tell the story? John, tell me if if it's not, it's fine. Remember
Go
when we
ahead.
were on that one con call and your laptop flipped forward a little bit?
Yeah.
You were wearing pants, but not really much there.
Go ahead. Go, you can tell
So-
that story. That's
Yeah.
funny.
I was on a conference call with John, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but it was like a Zoom meeting, and it was like John.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about one of the sound issues,
Yeah.
and he's like he got, I don't know, something happened where his laptop cover flipped forward, and it was like flipped for a little while, so we're kind of looking at his crotch area, but it wasn't. You weren't naked. You weren't naked. You just had
Yeah.
like maybe your chonies on or something,
Yeah,
and
you can see my underwear. You can exactly see my underwear.
And in the Zoom, it's like me, the other guy on the conference call, and I'm looking like we're kind of cross-looking virtually at each other, like who's gonna tell him first? And I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing it. And luckily, it was like it felt like eternity. And then finally, you were like, oh shit, and then you just put it up, and we were good. I was like, thank God he did.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to tell you. It was
That was
like
a
you
little
had
awkward.
food on your face, and I didn't want to tell you. I'm sorry. Next
Yeah,
time,
it
I'll
was-
just tell you.
It was weird. People weren't really saying anything. I was wondering, like, why is everyone quiet? No, I'm definitely wearing pants right now.
Yeah.
You're
So-
like, guys, we're talking about something
Sorry.
serious here. Can you guys get serious for a
Okay,
second? We're
Going
like,
back to GameStop with a Marvel cabinet, a lot of us got really scared because they said it was going to come out in November.
4:30.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it says
4:30. Yeah, GameStop. Like,
That's a mistake, right? Like
it's a
Games-
mistake.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
a mistake. I mean, they jumped the gun a little bit by putting the pre-orders up on that Monday, and we flagged it, and then they put it back up again and said November, and they put it back up again and it said like, April. No, I mean, they're gonna get some this year for sure.
Yeah,
And,
my theory
yeah.
is that there's someone working at GameStop that does database entry, and they get
Yeah.
information from retailers. They're like, okay,
And
let's
pop
start
it up.
putting it up, and they're supposed to hit draft, but they accidentally publish it, but we're all so interested in it. We're like, oh my God, it's coming out, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're part of the problem because we literally stalk the websites, and then of course, like we're like normal people aren't like sitting there clicking, but we have this whole like posse of crazy fans, right?
Right.
So they're sitting there clicking, and as soon as it comes up, it's like blasted everywhere. So if it is an error, everyone knows about the error right away, and so it's kind of crazy. But
Yeah. So, I mean, I would still recommend if you want that marble table to, pre-order at GameStop. Because actually, I know it's going. It'll be available, as well as Best Buy, but I don't know like when Best Buy is going to have theirs up. But yeah, it's the plan is to have that before the end of the year.
that
So-
makes sense, right? If I understand it correctly, when you hand over this package to the retailers that says here's the artwork, here's the information, the contract, whatever, they're kind of that's it, right? Like you hand it over to them, and it's up to them when to do it. But it'd be dumb for them to wait to next year, right? Because this is the holiday season to sell.
Yeah, it's weird why that date was there, but again, like at least it's coming, and I'll go back to my sales team and make sure that when people pre-order from GameStop that they know that some units will be coming in this year. So
Right.
Yeah.
And you said this earlier, and I think we maybe need to add a little bit more to it. Is it true that I'm almost like a lawyer? Is it true? No. So is it true that the only reason you have any hesitation of when is because there are some things that are out of your control, like they're now on their way from China, but there's also a bajillion items that are also coming in for this Christmas season,
right.
and you can't control all of that, but still everything. There's no meeting at Arcade1Up where we're like, yeah, well, that sucks. It's totally coming in April now.
Yeah, our business is different from traditional video game software business or even hardware business where you can say, hey, this game is going to come out on this Tuesday, or this console is going to come out at this time, because it's a different product that you have to. There's a lot of factors going into release date, just like you said, like with shipping, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes out of China, right now, it's like, you have a certain window of time, how long it's going to get there, right? Sometimes it could take 3 weeks, sometimes a lot longer. So you kind of want to time it, or actually the retailers want to time it. So by the time that the pre-orders start, that they get it in a reasonable amount of time, right? And so that's up to the retailers, and that's why like we can't go ahead and say, hey, this is all the SKUs are coming out and everything else. It's because it's really controlled a lot by the internal teams that have to prepare for their own retail launches. And so, yeah, that's what usually goes into it.
Do you still have a cabinet coming out this year that is a surprise? Hasn't fully been announced. It wasn't announced at the Summer of Gaming, but it's on its way.
Yeah, that's one cabinet for sure. That will release this year, towards the end of the year. And I think you guys kind of guessed what that is. So that was kind of
Off-road challenge, right?
Off-road challenge, yeah. And of course we have Infinity Gaming Table and all the other stuff. But in terms of there was kind of smaller products that are coming out, like that I didn't talk about, but I kind of alluded to, like there's a Super Pac-Man, and then there's Pac-Man Plus from QVC and all those. I didn't really count those, but kind of said, and also kind of kept Infinity Game Table under my hat. But there is that one big title that I think everyone kind of knows already what that is. That'll be out before the end of the year.
Very
cool. Is my energy low today? It's just Sunday, man. Sundays guys can be like really lazy. I'm like
Sunday fun day, chill. Morning, yeah. Justin, there was one in there that I think. Let's see. I think it was one that you wanted to know. Oh no, it wasn't. It's Bobby Jen. Do you want me to do that one?
Yeah, go for it.
So Bobby Jen from Facebook. I know we kind of.
Yeah, we covered this.
We kind of already covered it, but there's not the game list and all that stuff should be coming. I'm not going to say the word in the near future, pretty quickly, right?
The game list.
Yeah, for the pinballs.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're probably going to make like some sort of community game out of it and get people engaged while right before the pre-orders come, and then there'll probably be a few articles about the game list. We're just kind of just waiting a little bit, but of course, all that information should come out before the pre-order comes, so you can make an informed decision.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. I think it's time. We're gonna go. There was
one other thing.
What?
There was one other thing.
Really?
We have to talk about it really quick. It's like it is the biggest elephant in the room.
What is that?
Hold on, I'm trying to tee it up, but for some reason it's taking a while. No, Justin, don't shake your head.
I know what it is.
Everybody in the chat wants to know. I know they do. They're super. We're gonna bring it up real quick. We'll give you a little teaser of it, and then John's gonna have to respond. This is a big deal. I know John's probably nervous. I didn't talk to him about this in advance, but we're gonna hit him with it right now.
Oh gosh.
The Pac-Man one yet? You guys are gonna geek the heck out on this Pac-Man one.
No console versions. These are the real deal. Give it a spin, man. You're live. There you go.
All right. I'm stabilizing it. I probably look really weird.
It won't be as distorted either.
Do I look really weird? Do I look like I'm doing like something nasty with Pac-Man? I'm gonna try it again.
It won't move it. It won't move it. It won't move it.
Never mind.
Take a step away from the head.
If you stabilize it like this, it works. Except it looks
flashlight.
Okay,
dude.
So,
oh my gosh, I didn't know it was that bad.
I didn't mean to pull that one. I wanted to pull the original one. Someone else put those sound effects in. That was not me. But these things, so I know these things aren't like the main reason for talking, but I do find them as cool, like, put them in the corner.
Yeah.
Conversational things.
Item, right?
But they have been redesigned, right?
Yeah.
And I was not the reason why, right? Or am I the reason why?
I just kind of want to make an excuse that you're the reason why. But,
okay.
Just because it's funny. No, they're definitely it doesn't have a mouth, unfortunately. Okay. But it's still pretty cool. It's a nice little novelty item that you can kind of add to your man cave, and you'll have of course, the Pac-Man one, and then the Atari one, and then, of course, there's a Disney Mickey one that you guys kind of see leaked out. Those are all slated to come out, hopefully right before
I didn't know you were
Christmas.
actually going to do the Atari one. I think that was the leak just now. That's the one I'm really interested in.
Oh, yeah. So it has Atari ROMs in there, and I think some console stuff, but it's just be a large Atari joystick,
Oh, wait, is that Atari joystick one still coming then? Because that was actually really cool. I would buy that just to put in the corner of the room and never use. Like, I wouldn't even care. Cool.
Never use. Yeah.
Seriously, I would probably never use it, but I love it.
Probably if we ever have friends over, we'd probably use it. So, how many games are on the Polaroid machine, though? That's what I want to know.
There's no games on the Polaroid machine. What kind of so that Polaroid machine? Yes, that's an Arcade1Up, joint with Polaroid, and it's all about that kind of retro. Polaroid and getting back to the 80s and 90s.
Can you sideload JPEGs
scan lines
onto it? What?
Blood or no buy?
I liked my question better.
Okay, go
Can
ahead.
you sideload JPEGs onto it? No, I'm just kidding. Never mind. That's a really bad geeky. That's a very bad nerdy joke.
I didn't even get that. This one.
Yeah, so the manual came out on that one and said you could sideload JPEGs, but then they edited that right away.
I guess. Well, we'll get more information about that in the coming weeks, but it is a real product. I'm excited about it because kind of Polaroid has reinvented itself.
Right.
It's been known as a kind of this retro thing. It's one of those, retro companies that are coming back in a big way. So, you'll be able to, kind of print different pictures with filters, upload them and all that, but I can't really talk too much about it because I'm not the one supposed to be announcing it. But because you've seen it, yes, it's real. It's all real.
So, dude, Justin, I need to talk to you for 1 second. What are we gonna do? I know you had something coming, but we have a lot of super chats. So
that's what I'm talking about. Let's get to it.
Okay, we're gonna get to those. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so there's ones that I can just rattle off that are just statements, right? We'll just go there. So Sling Spade was in the beginning. He said, get hyped. And then he's all, How to Bachelor says, for Justin rocking out. He gave a little donation there. Thank you so much. Sling Spade said, we love you, John D. Stringer Film says, Ralph's drinking. I'm out because he knows I'm a very big lightweight, so it doesn't take much.
Well, especially now that you lost weight. You have to drink less.
It's bad.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I sniff alcohol and I'm drunk. All right, so Peter Giffen said also... He said, when's the date for the Star Wars Pinball? We already established that it's
right, so here's
supposed to be before the end of the year.
Yeah, here's a real question coming up. It's from Stringer Films. He said his question is, wait for it, John, who is your daddy and what does he do?
Who's my daddy and what does he do? My dad is a nuclear physicist, honestly.
Wow.
Is he seriously?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He helped build Diablo Canyon. It's just like this nuclear power plant in San Luis Obispo. But I'm not even half as smart as that guy. But
wow,
that's my dad.
Crazy cool, though.
Yeah,
well, that's
really
awesome,
cool.
actually.
Yeah, I didn't get that smart.
Well, it's pretty awesome that your dad did.
Yeah.
Ask if 1UP V-Pin has scratch-resistant coating.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
That's
you got
a
a
good
deck
question.
protector on the front because you're going to be just like...
That was from Vince.
I mean, it's a good material. It's a good plexi material. It's not glass, but it shouldn't scratch unless you forcefully want to scratch it, which is I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I kind of understand why you guys didn't do glass. I feel like that would be a nightmare in shipping, and it'd have lots of breakage, even if you packed it good. I don't know. Glass is too risky, in my opinion. All right. How to Bachelor says Justin and I are a bickering married couple. All right, that's very true. Right. Jeff says, for already Justin drinking, you get a super chat. Stringer Films, Ralph's already drunk. That's probably true. The Garage Gamer says, when will Arcade1Up's lit marquees be available? We answered that one offline, but that's a good question. Garage Gamer, between now and the end of the year is the expectation there. Combat and collecting. I would like to see marquees with higher quality acrylic and vinyl graphics that appear glass-like. I'm willing to pay for better materials.
Interesting.
Just a statement, maybe, as just something you should consider.
I mean, maybe the third-party aftermarket can handle that for us. I mean, our goal is to make these consumer-ready products. So the more we start adding to things, and it kind of things get more expensive. The reach is different, but we will have different categories. I mean, like the $299 category, the $399 category, $449. 500. You may see stuff at 549. You may see stuff at 599 and then up. But there's going to be different ones. But for our base models, it's one of those things like how much can you sell, and it's good that these aftermarket companies are out there to help you mod things if you in the exact way that you want it. Will we do a glass one person? I don't think so, but I think they're good enough. I think they're great, sure. Actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Stringer Film says Braves are going to the series. Flux that. All right.
Yeah. Hopefully the Dodgers don't make it though. I'm not a big Dodger fan.
All right. JY says, how do you make your estimates on whether or not a unit will be successful? Example. Yeah.
Right. Oh, sorry.
Question, actually.
It's a great question. I mean, it takes a lot of market analysis and research. I think, with the experience that we have now, with the sales data we have now, we have a good grasp of how well a title will do. And also because we know the retail environment, to get stuff into retail, it's really tough. It's you're not going to likely get very hardcore titles into retail, and so that's why we're trying to ramp up our, direct to consumer Arcade1Up.com website.
When you say hardcore, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so hardcore. What's more hardcore? It's these games that not everyone knows. I would kind of put those like Smash TV. I love Smash TV, right? I love Smash TV. I love Total Carnage. I love Robotron.
Yeah, cool dual
stick. I love Berserk. Those stuff, and it's like, okay, well, can we release this and how many units? And I have to go back to our, sales team and say, do they even know what Smash TV is? And it's hard if they don't even know what it is, to educate them on that. It is really tough. And just
reminds me of like Final Fight, first generation. Yeah, right? They didn't pick it up because they didn't pick it
up because they thought,
which was crazy. It's like one of a lot of people's favorites cabinets. It's like one of our favorite cabinets too.
It's just like Golden Axe, same thing. Like you had to bring that direct to consumer for a while, but but then they saw the audience going, no, Golden Axe is great, and so okay, they pick it up.
That's exactly it. And you see now, because a lot of retailers are so invested that they're scouring, our pages, our social media pages, to see what the reactions are, right? And Final Fight, to be honest, with the classic games that were released in the beginning, the first couple of ways, Final Fight is not as well known as, say, Street Fighter and Pac-Man and Centipede and even Gauntlet and all that stuff. But you saw that, people said, Walmart said, oh, shoot, there is something to this Final Fight, and they brought it in. So what's great about our direct-to-consumer strategy is that we can test the market through this. And
Dragon's Lair?
Yes, Dragon's Lair. Yes, Dragon's Lair. And so like Final Fight and again, like Golden Axe, I mean, that shit, that we didn't expect that, only because at first I thought it was a little bit of a hardcore kind of title, because we, think about this cabinet. Who really knows what Golden Axe Revenge of Death Adder is? Right? It was kind of one of those things where I go, a cool thing I wanted to do. Like it
sounds like a passion for you, right? You're like, this would be cool to re-release into the industry, right?
Exactly. It's one of those.
It never had it never had an at-home port, so it was that was cool. But I think it also, there was probably a lot of Golden Axe fans that like might have even missed it. Like they never played it in the arcade, so it was like it kind of sparked a lot of interest for someone that was a Golden Axe fan that went, oh my gosh, I never actually played that one. And then you're like, well, did you know that it didn't even come out as a port to a console? And it kind of sparked some cool conversation. I think it was kind of a cool idea, and I'm actually surprised that the retailers didn't pick it up, but it's cool. Well, I think it gained a lot of traction, right, by the fans going, man, this is a cool cabinet. And Code Mystics did it, so we love Code Mystics. So
we love Code Mystics, and there's a lot of internal debate about this one. From a story standpoint, you're right. I really wanted to release, because it was just going to be Golden Axe and the other games, right? But I go, I want to do something. We want to do something a little bit more different, and bringing out this game that's never been released before, and also on Sega System 32, which is kind of pushing the limits of our chipsets, as you can see. And then also, should we make it 2 players or 4 players? right? Even though it was only one game, I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just put 4K. 'Cause that's how originally it was. I mean, there was a 2-player version, but I wanted to make sure, like, for this game, that you could really experience the true way that Revenge of Death Adder should be experienced. So yeah, and I'm glad now that people came to their senses. When I'm talking people, I mean retailers. They go, okay, because they started seeing a lot of reviews and saying, "Wow, this is my favorite cabinet." And then there you go. So.
There you go.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
we're gonna need to go quick on some of these.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be able to watch a game and all that too.
How much time do you guys have? Because I mean, I kind of jest about like having to, to watch the beginning of the game. I have a DVR, so that's fine. But it's up to you guys. I mean,
we got there's a lot of 20 minutes in us. I think.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so Matt Harmon was in the chat and he had a super chat and he said, "John D, you just made my day. Make the Tempest happen." So then and by the way, there was a ton of people that didn't super chat, just general comments that were like really excited when you said that about Tempest. Yeah. So that's one that it sounds like a lot of people were waiting for.
Now this one, Ralph, you got to do your Peter Griffin.
Yeah, Jan, I need my Star Wars Pinball, bro. Also, John, will we ever see you put Juno? What?
Juno first.
Juno.
Or
Juno?
Pilates Space Arcade games on one cab instead of always Galagala.
Yeah, I didn't understand the question. I'm sorry.
Are you ever going to put Juno first in the cabinet?
I don't even know what Juno is. What is that? Like a movie?
Juno first.
Right? I don't know that. I'm sorry.
I don't know either, actually.
It's a Konami game.
Oh, really? So you found out a game that I don't even know. Kudos.
Dude,
I don't know either.
It's on the 60-1, I'm pretty sure.
You know what grinds my
Is that a
gears?
good game? I got to check it out.
People talk about games I don't know
Juno
about.
First.
Yeah, when people talk about games I don't know about, I'm very surprised. I thought I
all right,
played everything.
now we're all embarrassed. Well, John and I, yeah. So, all right. Chris Williams says no comment included. So I guess he just gave a super chat with nothing. Stringer Films is making fun of me for being a lightweight and said Ralph cracked that bottle in 1998. He's talking about this. That's really funny, Stringer. GameStop, which is the fake GameStop, which is a long story. It'd be really hard for you to explain that. But there's someone that watches the show that has a fake video game store. Will you be offering more special buys on your website for future cabinet releases? I think you kind of covered that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the vision for our website is to offer something different than that's offered in retail, to test out the market, to kind of have games there that are more, I guess, core games, or I don't want to say hardcore, but games that may not get interest initially in retail, and those would be, your
So let me guess.
Go ahead.
Marvel superheroes with the Sanwa sticks. Was that a test to see if Sanwa is something you should put in a cabinet? Like
totally. That was just something, and
that sold well, didn't it?
That sold well, but damn, those Sanwa sticks and buns are so expensive.
Yeah.
Just in general, that SKU itself really didn't give us a lot of financial upside, if I can say it that way. But we did find out that people want that. But again, putting that in a retail space and trying to keep the costs as well as the retail price where it's manageable, maybe we'll see some special editions in the future that has Sanwa. But if those type of things will probably be more reserved for like our website.
Okay, cool. Ben Tull actually had it was a pretty expensive or a lot of money here. So thank you. It was super generous. But he said, I need a teacher discount. I play cabs as a reward for getting work done. So he's saying, is there any maybe potential in the future to do some kind of like discount for educational for educational purposes? That's kind of cool, actually.
Man, I don't get discounts, man.
Have you heard of people though? Has this been something that have you heard of people putting them in like schools and stuff like that? Has that been something that's come up? It's kind of interesting.
It has come up. I think what makes sense, not necessarily having our arcade games at school, but maybe it's something like the Infinity Game Table, where you possibly have those in libraries and schools. I think that's the product that makes more sense in there. When kids start going back to school, right?
Right.
I don't foresee doing like a program with schools and stuff. But maybe like, daycares, offices like, dental offices or or medical offices.
Yeah, that's kind
you
of
know,
a cool idea, actually.
maybe when gyms come back out and they have their own little,
Yeah, the
nursery.
kids play area
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
exactly.
So we had a weird. This is one that I'm embarrassed that I never played this game. I'm pretty sure John,
Which
you'll
one?
know this game. It's. I always say it wrong. It's like ER Kung Fu. I never played
Ah,
that game.
Yeah, Kung Fu.
Yeah, that's how
Dude,
you say it.
I
Yeah.
love that game. That
So
was
someone
like,
wants to know if you'll ever do
precursor.
that potentially, but
oh, for sure. It's got it because I love Yar Kung Fu.
like
This
it
is one
probably
of-
wouldn't be its own cab. It'd be like included
No.
with other games, right?
You're probably in a compilation. Like I
Yeah.
love that game. Like it has stars and it's really.
And
the
I gotta
precursor-
play this game. Everyone tells me if you've never played it, you have to play it, and I didn't. I don't know why. I never like. caught
Oh
that
man, I don't know what kind of arcade games you had in your area, but
game. Maybe it was there. I just never played it. All right,
no, it's
Combat-
a dope game. It's a precursor to Street Fighter, just like Karate Champ was.
and I played a ton of Karate Champ on the NES. I played the crap out of the Karate Champ and in the arcade. So,
Yeah.
all right, Combat
So,
and
hold on.
Collecting says
Let
why.
me ask this one, man.
Okay.
So, yeah,
sorry, bro.
I think this is kind of our fault on our show. We kept on. We made many videos and many things about Code Mystics. We were really infatuated with the idea of a company. I think they're in British Columbia, right? They're like a company that took the time to get. You guys worked with them. A real $5,000 Star Wars cabinet, and then build emulation against that machine. And so, for example, a quick example for people that don't know, if you go get like the Star Wars and play it on MAME, and then go get the Arcade1Up version, you will go, oh my God, Arcade1Up didn't do it right. But actually, they did it more right than MAME because Code Mystics behind it. This is
Dude,
that
that was
and
so
other
true.
things. We start talking about, oh my God, Code Mystics is doing this one, Code Mystics is doing that one. Look how good they are. And I feel it's a little bit unfair because you work with other companies that are also pretty good as well.
Right.
So it's kind of got the community to just think everything coming out of Code Mystics is the best, which may be true. I don't know. But the question is, why not have Code Mystics do emulation for all of your cabinets?
Because they're not able to.
Yeah.
We've got so many cabinets. Like we're really working them to the fullest right now, and we'll be taking a lot of the cues that they set a standard, and I understand like why can't all cabinets be like what they've done, and we've heard that, and so we're going to strive towards that. But yeah, Code Mystics is a development company that's amazing, but they can't do all of our cabinets. We just have way too many
Right.
SKUs. But at least they do things that are innovative, and God bless them. I love them up there in Vancouver. Beautiful place, beautiful place up there. I love Vancouver.
All right,
nice
so
up there.
we've got Brett that says, you kind of already went over this. He said there's about 8 new cabinets plus 3 pinballs released announced for this year. Should we expect this same number of new titles next year? I'm going to answer. I'm going to say you're probably going to do more year on year, right?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be more. It just
That's
makes
what I would say.
makes my head spin.
I find it fascinating because when we think back, almost everyone in the community here, at least, has been in it since like October of 2018. I think it would have been 2018.
2018, yeah.
So like, it's insane to think that we had this like little lineup of like 6 or so cabinets, and it turned into this. Like, it's insane. I can't even believe it's crazy. Yeah, I never would have predicted that. I even said in many videos, I was like, oh, it's probably just gonna be a fad. But then you guys, like, the momentum was there and the interest was there. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see because Justin and I talk about, we have lots of phone conversations on this, but the thing that also happens because of you guys is people buy one and it sometimes breaks them into all these crazy aspects of the hobby. They're buying full-size arcade cabinets now, or they're going investigating modding a little bit more. And so it goes further than, I don't know if you guys realize it, but it sparks this interest in the hobby. And sometimes it starts with one cabinet. Maybe they get 5 of them, and they can go into all these other dimensions of the hobby. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's just amazing how many SKUs that within the 2 years, really only 2 selling seasons, how many cabinets we out there and how much more we can do. I mean, we're in a period of great expansion here, and Scott is very ambitious and very aggressive, and I applaud him for doing that, and I support that. But definitely all the SKUs that we're about to release just makes my head spin, keeps me up at night.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna ask this one, but I'm gonna make it a Two questions. Any plans? Thank you for the super chat. Any plans to have a pedestal cab, only to add your own monitor, a la Big Buck Hunter and Golden Tee? Another follow-up question to that is, if you're testing the waters with your direct-to-consumer model, have you considered trying a 19-inch monitor?
Yeah, I mean, well, for Big Buck Hunter, it's 17-inch, but no plans right now to release that with 19-inch. But we've played it, and there's no issues, especially with the Sinden Lycon technology. You could go as close or far away, and it's to be very accurate. In terms of, will some of these have bigger cabinets? We're looking into it. Definitely, there's going to be stuff that we have to have bigger size screens. Say like maybe it is a shooting game that has pedals and all this other stuff, and you may need a light, a widescreen. Who knows? Or stuff that
you did mention in the maybe newer generation as well, like in the 2000s.
Yeah, I think maybe in the 2000s, and also, gosh, when we have to mix and match horizontal and vertical games, maybe we use a 19 or a 20-inch. So there's best of both worlds. We're kind of looking into that, because if you have like a 19 or 20-inch, how does that look? How big of a screen size does the vertical oriented games look?
Yeah,
so we're looking into that.
Out.
Yeah, it'll help out. And again, all of that is, but at this time, if you want to put a bigger screen, you're going to have to kind of do that yourself at this point. But we are looking into bigger screens for sure in different SKUs. So when we start getting to the big, higher price points, like the 500 plus and all that stuff, yeah, it's likely we use bigger screens.
Cool. So we have a bunch. Someone said soon. He said drink up, ladies, which I believe we did.
Did I say SOON? I did. I've been trying my best not to say.
No,
that.
you did once. You did once. You
Yeah.
did once, and I think that was when he called us out on there. And then we got one from Adam Montgomery. He said, if USB patches are going to continue to be a thing, why not add? I actually agree with this. Why not add a full USB port and not instead of the micro USB port? I actually agree with that, because now you have people have to go out and get that little micro USB hub.
Yeah, I think it was. I think we're looking into that, and actually, hopefully, we don't need to do those USB patches anymore. And most, the plan is most of our cabinets, at least 80% of them, plus in the future, are going to be Wi-Fi compatible.
Yep.
Just so then you could just basically, update via Wi-Fi.
Yep.
That's the ideal situation. But of course, the price points that are probably around $299 likely won't have Wi-Fi, so those are going to have to be USB. And yes, we hear you. It's ideal to have just regular USB ports, so you don't have to buy the dongles and stuff like that. But again, those are kind of cost issues, but we'll get through those. Again, like $299, you've got to really be efficient with the parts and bill of materials. So we may or may not be able to do full, but just go on Amazon, man. There's like $5.
So we got Juan. Juan said, so great that that the pinballs will be here soon. Daniel May said, has the Star Wars V-Pin art changed as previously mentioned?
It's got better. It's got better. So the first version that you see, I mean, the layout is there, but we worked really closely with the creative folks at Lucasfilm, and they just say, hey, let's make it even better. So
did they remove the sequel trilogy, or is it still there?
Oh man, it's there.
I'm asking for other people. I like the sequel trilogy. I think I'm a big fan. Well, I gotta have to be. I love Star Wars.
I love
everything about Star Wars is amazing.
You realize that Glenn just unfriended you. You realize that, right? Like Glenn, who was a good friend, is now gone. Like you just lost a friend. So.
I like Force Awakens and I like Rise of Skywalker. I don't think much of that middle one. Last Jedi.
Don't talk back about Disney, all right?
I love Disney. Disney's our friends. Right. They love us. We love them. So anything, I keep hearing, hey, are we going to have this table, this table, this table? Just look at our list of licensees and licensors, and you can kind of see what's possible.
Yeah,
and it's stuff that we don't have, then we'll either get eventually or we're never going to get. But, I think we got most of them, maybe 95% of them.
Yeah. I'm going to go out of order because this question is just so damn good. This is by someone that's been watching the channel for a really long time. His name's My Family. And he said, what does John D see Arcade1Up doing 2 years from now? I think that's an awesome question because obviously it's one of those into the future kind of questions.
Yeah, I see us being doing a lot more stuff, a lot of more unique stuff in the retro space in general. Our goal is really to be the #1 brand of, home electronics with a specialty in retro. But having said that, I mean, just look at what we've done so far. We have our current line of arcades, and that will remain our core business. Then we have our, Infinity Game Table, and then we have, you'll see,
He's going to be like,
you'll see different SKUs for different age groups, and you'll see like Polaroid, and you'll see a whole bunch of stuff. So 2 years from now, I could see us doing full size stuff, commercial stuff.
Oh, really? All right.
Whole bunch of other things. We really want to be the purveyors of the retro business. In terms of current gen or next gen, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they've got that handled. But when we talk about retro and everything else, that should be us.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. So there was just to break up the last round of questions. This is just one of those things. Like, so ever since Justin and I started this show, fans will create crazy things. And this was something that someone created in the community, and we thought you'd want to see it because some of the footage actually came from actually CES when we saw you that time. So it's kind of weird. Just I'll play it for you. It's all around your Arcade1Up countercade. So here it is.
Let's see if we can get some music going.
It's the Arcade1Up countercade. And you know it's better than getting laid. Yeah. It's the Arcade1Up countercade. Yeah. And you know it's better than getting laid. 'Cause I tried, but those other channels make me cry. 'Cause there ain't nobody better than you. And Justin is a rock star, and Ralph looks just like a movie star. And you know one of weekly fans of you.
Listen, baby. Yeah. I'm talking to you, Ralph. That's right. You don't need Kim. No. You just need me. Hell yeah. We can drive off to Anaheim to that auction warehouse at 4:30 in the morning when no one is bidding, so we can get some real good deals on those MK cabs. MK1, 2, and 3. I don't even need those ill sticks. No. I don't even need those hap sticks. Hell no. I just need your stick. That's right. Let's go.
It's the Arcade1Up countercade. And you know it's better than getting laid. It's the Arcade1Up countercade. Yeah. And you know it's better than getting laid. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Believe it or not, someone made that. Yes, they made that in the community. So
I'm not crying. You're crying.
As soon as I am, I'm crying.
Dude,
All right,
that was so beautiful, man. I mean, like, you guys are amazing. I gotta tell you that you guys are great musicians, and I love it. That was amazing. Like, it seriously brought me to tears.
That's Zohar playing piano and singing. By the way,
oh my gosh, that guy hates me.
He's talented though. He's very talented when it comes to music.
Did Zohar really make that music? That was you, right?
Yeah.
No,
that was all.
Get
That was
the hell out of
Zohar.
here. You know what?
That's Zohar.
Zohar, join the community. Because if that was you, man, you gotta not be salty at me. I love that video. So I'm reaching out to you. Don't get butt hurt. take your Xanax.
All right, you were good in the beginning, then you started to come downhill. This is cut it off at the good stuff. The longer John goes, it's like
sensitive, man. I love that guy. So
he finally he had to speak up. He's like, "That's me singing and playing."
I love that.
We love Zohar. We love him so much. All right, we're gonna power through the end of this thing. So it's is Atari Super Sprint too hard to emulate? It's 3 players.
No,
but...
it's not. It's not.
Okay.
I think that the biggest issue, and it's one of my favorite games, is that those steering wheels take a beating. If you know how to play those,
they
you
totally
gotta really like
do.
spin it, because it's all about like drifting, right? You gotta spin it this way and spin it that way. And even in the arcades, man, those were always busted. And so like
they were always breaking for sure.
If you it takes a lot of beating, so
I know that's a tough one.
So
all right, GameStop says, will the giant Pac-Man joystick look like CS version? We already covered that. He said asking for a friend. I'm assuming he's making fun of me there. Epicenter Gaming says, I pre-ordered Marvel from GameStop and it said April, but we already covered that too. So thanks for the super chat on that one. Edwin said, will Outrun be on Arcade1Up's website or a GameStop Best Buy? Any pre-order date on that? I would love it to be a sit-down. That was Edwin.
So like I said, if we are to have a racing game.
Well, everyone thinks you confirmed it here tonight.
Yeah. So. Like I said, there'll be a sit-down version at retail and the stand-up version through our website. And I don't know if the stand-up version will be this year or early next year, but that's my latest news.
Okay. Lewis Waters is in the UK and he said, UK fans, when can we expect a greater range?
It's already coming. I mean, like,
they're coming.
What? Yeah. There's this. What is that retailer? Starts with an S. Smiths. The Smiths. Yeah. There's a lot. Like our Smiths program is getting a lot bigger.
Okay, so you guys are getting that launched.
Oh yeah.
Now. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, our international distribution is going to go a lot wider next year, and we're excited about that. Finally.
Nice. Stringer Film says, get dad on the pinball team. I don't know what that means, but thank you for the super chat. Sling Spade says, will John D come back on the show in a couple weeks? Oh, will he come on basically before CES at some point? Before CES next year?
I think I should. I think we maybe should have like a holiday special.
Dude, we're down with that for sure.
We got to do that to kind of talk about everything that's releasing. Let's do that probably beginning of December. So
that'd be cool.
There's a couple other shows I'd like to go on to as well, just to spread the love a little bit. But, you guys are my favorites, so there's no hiding that.
Thank you. Dominic Smith says, you're our favorite too, by the way. Dominic Smith says, John D, beta tester position. I don't know exactly what he's saying here. Versus me drinking game. I drink you under the table.
You will drink me under the table now. I lost 50 pounds, so I can't. My tolerance is way low. I'll get like drunk off of 3 shots, where 3 shots was a warm up for me before. So anyone, but I'm still down to drink. Just know that.
Because Dominic was trying to say, look, we'll have a drink off, and whoever's standing will get the beta position.
That used to be me, maybe in June, and I probably can outdrink anybody at that time. Not anymore. You know this, Ralph. Have you been drinking lately? Notice like how much of a lightweight you are now, just because of your weight.
I did a live stream, and I had one. I made a what's the drink I made? I forgot. Justin, what did I drink?
I don't remember.
Drink. Anyways, it's like a whiskey drink. I had like half of it, and I started going to my head, and everyone's like, "Why is he acting so goofy?" And I was like, "Dude, I was getting super buzzed off a little bit."
Right.
I'm not feeling anything from this. By the way, nothing.
Mm-hmm. So, right,
so I was just reading super chats also.
So we got.
You're spending money to tell them you don't like me. Just go straight to my Venmo. You don't need to go do a super chat.
Okay. All right. Let's keep the peace. All right. So I know you're joking, but Brian P says, for the older cabs, are risers still available? Can't find them on the site anywhere or retailers. That seems to be an issue. People with not finding risers. So you guys gonna ramp up on the risers soon?
Yeah, we're starting to ramp up now. Like I think people start seeing some risers at Walmart.
Yeah, I'm seeing them.
Yeah, you'll start seeing them more. And
I saw them at mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and hopefully more can be available through our website. Hopefully branded risers as well. So that's the idea: having branded risers, regular risers.
Oh, that's cool.
Light up marquees, all that kind of stuff. Just give us time. Again, I was lagging on getting those contracts, but now they're all done. So hopefully our production people can now focus on it, because there's a lot of stuff we're putting out, right? And so everything has to take priority. And
so you're saying some of the accessories are going to go to retailers too?
Well, possibly not. Probably more like if you're talking about like a branded riser, possibly it's a Arcade1Up.com versus a retailer. Yeah, but the retailers probably get the generic ones like you starting to see right now. Yeah.
Good clarity. Good.
Yep.
I was going to ask Justin for everyone because we're just winding down and we're getting to a really long show now. I want to make sure, like, if please everyone out there, let's like, there's so many questions. We still have a good like 10 or more left. So I just ask if everyone would just not super chat from here on out, we'll just try to power through some of these.
Speed run.
Yeah. So it says, Michael Suna says, will there be a Multi-Cade arcade? We already covered that, but thanks. That's for the super chat. That was a good one. The Garage Gamer said possible Simpsons in 2021. That would be pretty badass. What do you do on that one? Maybe. Okay. All right. Stringer Film says, is it true what they say about Arcade1Up countercades? Is it better than getting? All right. Vic Vicious 70.
Real quick, is there any more plans for countercades
for this year?
Yeah.
New ones? Yes.
Any of them horizontal screen?
Please, horizontal. One, get your Capcom on. Come on, John D.
I don't know about this year. It's possible, but there will be horizontal countercades next year.
Oh,
but
cool.
there'll be new SKUs of countercades this year. I would kind of check targets and QVC and HSNs and all that stuff. There will be more countercades coming up.
So you're saying next year we're getting Ghosts and Goblins? All right, that's good.
No, I think that one's not happening. Huh?
It's a joke.
Oh.
No Ghosts and Goblins, but maybe some other Capcom titles, maybe some other Midway titles. Who knows?
Okay. Cool. All right, cool. Vic Vicious and Sling Spade back to back. John D, any progress? I know this is like the loaded one. Any progress with Nintendo?
It's always a work in progress.
But I mean, you guys are still trying to talk to them, right?
We talk to everybody. Talk to everybody. So, yeah, we still want a Nintendo license, but again, it'll come at the right time if it does come.
Okay. I mean,
we're not giving up. We're not giving up.
You got to think about this, John.
It's
losing all this weight and having your
40th. That's it, isn't it?
But you losing all this weight is ruining a little bit of your negotiation skills because Andrew from Sinden, you closed him after a good night of drinking. So I'm just saying there may be you may need to ramp up the food intake a little bit.
He's got to go to Japan is what he said earlier, right?
You have to go to Japan.
Like I made an entire video where you go over, Nintendo of America, Noah, and he's like, Noah doesn't even care about this stuff. They're working on, their US stuff.
Just know that the Japanese can drink, and I'm trying to strategize how to handle that. Maybe like put fake drinks in between the shots. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure. Yeah, we'll figure. I actually at some work events where they go really really late when we used to do that. I had to I'd roll in a little bit of the seltzer water type thing and make it look like, just to be able to handle it. So I know what you're talking about there. So all right, so we got Peter Giffen says
the answer, by the way.
Butter?
Stick of butter.
Stick of butter.
Like eat it before you drink?
Yeah.
Does that work?
That's disgusting.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's real.
I'll probably get the major squirts if I did that.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'd be gone because I'd be going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll get those oil squirts.
Wow. Yeah, that's way too
gross.
much information, John, but I like it.
TMI.
All right. So John says, all right, Peter Giffen says, John D, has Nintendo been willing to sit down? We already covered that, but thank you for the super chat. Dylan says, hey, John, what about Rastin? Such a great classic game.
Sorry. Rastin is a good game. Yeah, if we do it, it'll be a title compilation in the future.
Yeah, that's what I expect.
Okay. Maybe 2022.
Stringer Film says, thanks, John D. Now I have 18 cabs, a garage full of tools, and now have better than average woodworking and modding skills.
Good. Mod some of my shit.
All right.
There we go.
Matt Harmon says, will we see a Tron cab in the future? I'm going to say no, but am I the only one that I don't like Tron. Why do I hate Tron? I don't like it.
Look, Tron is more nostalgic than anything. Right?
I think so too. When you go back and play Tron, I feel like I don't love it. Like I used to somehow think I loved it. Now I don't have any love for it.
Well, the gameplay is arguable whether it holds up for today's standards, but just the story behind it. Like, I mean, I still like the cycle, those unicycle modes, and just of Tron's kind of okay. Like, Space Paranoids is something that if we were to do it, that I'd love to figure out how to put that game in there. But I mean, I would just love the look of a Tron cabinet.
Yeah, the Tron cabinet looks cool. That's true.
With all the lights, the blue lights, and everything. So if we do it, it'll be done right. And I don't know who owns Tron, by the way.
I don't even know anymore.
That's Disney, right?
Maybe, probably at this point.
Probably
right?
the IP, but I don't know about
Disney.
the game.
Disney and Midway. So I mean, we're partners with both of them. Who knows? Who knows what happens in the future?
See, Natalie knows what's up. She said the same thing. She said the game sucks, but the cab looks awesome. It's true.
It's one of those cabs I want to see behind me when we do another thing. But I'm neither confirming or denying that happening. But I tell you, like, you got to think: is Arcade1Up able to bring out these licenses? And then just look at who's we're in partnership with, and I don't think anything's out of the question.
Right. Yes, even Vic
whether
Vicious
it's whether it's like Dragon's Lair or Tron or other stuff. What am I thinking about? Dragon's Lair, Tron, other stuff. I mean, like, we want to do it all.
We got, I think we're winding down here. So Vic Vicious says, John D, any chance of Afterburner? He says in 2021, but Afterburner would be tough, I think, because it relied so much on the mechanics of that cabinet and the flight stick, and you were so hard on that thing. That'd be tough.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about Afterburner. I mean, I liked it, but having a dedicated Afterburner cab, I don't know.
I think it'd be tough for you guys to do it and keep the quality, because it's just like you're kind of like ripping on that thing, right? So that might be hard.
And I don't know if we can make a real. I mean, we could make an authentic version, but it'll be very expensive, and I don't know how much we could sell. But I mean, I like the game, but I don't know. We're still thinking about Afterburner.
So there's
a whole bunch of other Sega titles we need to get through before we get to Afterburner.
So what about Dominic Smith mentions Cruisin', Midway, or Nintendo? Is that in the pipeline?
I love Cruisin'. I love Cruisin'.
But
is it in the pipeline? I mean, again, I can only say so much, but it is a title that we're looking at for sure. Whether it's going to come out when, I don't know. But Cruisin' USA, along with like Daytona and all, that's kind of one of my favorite, racing games. I love Cruisin' World, Exotica, all of those things. So yeah, I mean, we'll see.
All right, so we got, Zohar says, I don't like John D. He's very mean. No MK love. So you already saw that.
But the funny thing is, and I don't want to bring too much attention to Zohar, because he brings that attention to himself, which is fine. And like, I would never censor that guy, but he's very passionate, kind of bipolar at times, but that's okay. But what I do want to say is, like, we have a lot of plans with MK, and it's just like, just be patient. I mean, MK 30th is just around the corner. There's still a lot of stuff that we're doing with MK and Midway in general. So just like hang tight, man.
Yeah. Speaking
you said before, it's about timing irritating as well, right?
It gets sometimes irritating. Like, you can pop off and all that, and I'm all good for that. But when it starts, like, every post that I post, and all of a sudden, like, responding to other people, just trying to hate all the time. I mean, I'm not that irritated about it, but come on, let's calm down a bit. But I still love you because that Countercade video just made me tear. So we're friends again. I like you again.
Fair enough. So How to Bachelor says, second soon super chat. I had to do it soon. I don't know. I didn't catch the soon.
Let's do it soon because I want to take a shot.
All right. Let me do one more here.
Okay. I get the shakes now. All right. All right, you gotta bring us home, Justin, because we're at an hour and 40 minutes.
This one's for real though. Okay. All day it's just been tea, but this is a real one.
Wait, what are you talking about? You've been drinking tea?
Yeah, man.
That's cheating, man.
What a loser!
What cheating?
What a loser!
But this one's real now. You can tell because I'm coughing.
All right, so Justin, take us home because John's got his game to what? Oh,
now you know. The other stuff was fake, but
I was meaning take us home. There's like two more questions, isn't there?
Go ahead, keep going.
Two more questions. Here we go. So,
Well, there was one that said, "John D, can you outdrink this retired Navy vet?" But I think you're saying no now at this point because.
No, I mean I'm not even drinking right now because I want to have a clear mind. But my am I stuck? No, okay,
you're
sorry,
good, dude.
No, I can't outdrink anyone right now. But
Justin, what's the Tyler one? I don't understand what he's talking about. But everyone keeps saying stuff about popcorn. Am I like too dense to realize what they're talking about?
what is that? Is
Ralph
it like
loves
a
popcorn.
Is that number that you dial for time, right? You don't remember that? 760. Oh, forget it. It's an old
It
reference.
says
for the
Ralph
80s.
loves popcorn. Does John G love popcorn?
I was avoiding popcorn during the whole COVID thing to try to get my weight down, but now I can enjoy the hell out of popcorn. I like that.
But I do love
I like
popcorn.
I like that furikake, that bukkake
flavors?
spice on it. Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. He said, will you ever?" So he did the popcorn thing, and he says, "Also, will you ever consider doing Area 51?" That's right there, by the way. There's my Area 51. But would you
Area
consider doing an Area 51?
I'd have to figure out what other titles could go along.
Area 51, Maximum Force. Pair those two together. Throw a couple more on. That'd be pretty cool.
It had to be like a machine gun kind of a thing with force feedback, right?
Well, I mean, the original didn't have it. So
It didn't?
original's
Okay.
no, it's just this guy. It just had like a regular. That's it.
Okay. Well, then, yeah. I mean, it's. I guess if people want it, but there's a few light guns that we have to do before we do Area 51.
Hold on. We got some fighting words right here.
What
And
happened?
you know who Cursed Existence is, right? You know who that is in the community? I'll give you his real name in a second. You know who it is?
Okay.
So Cursed
No.
Existence is actually Derek D. And he
Oh,
says
really?
John D couldn't even outdrink David McIntosh right now.
No.
No?
David, well, so David is an undercover drinker. I mean, he did stop drinking after I outdrank him during
Well, you
Comic
took
Con.
him
But he
out.
can,
You like totally
I
took
did.
him
I
out,
took
right?
him out, but he can get me now. He's actually probably
really?
he's probably outweighs me a little bit now.
David's
I think.
skin and bones, though. Does David get some pounds
tall,
going
though.
on? 'Cause
No, he's
that's
tall.
true.
Though. He's
Mm.
tall.
I know, but David needed a little meat, though. We need to.
He
If I brought David to like home as my friend to my mom's house and said, "Hey, mom, meet David, my buddy. He works at Arcade1Up," she'd be like, "David, bud, you gotta have this meatball sub, buddy, because you just need to put on some weight." Like my mom would be like concerned about David. So when you're. When you're notching your belt and your pants actually overlap because you're so thin, like David's got to put on a couple lbs. He'll be good.
David's a frat boy. Of course he can drink, man. Of course he can drink. But yeah, he probably can outdrink me right now.
All right, Justin. Anything left? I think
that's it.
Pretty sure we
We're-
got everyone.
I think hopefully we're able to answer the questions. We'd love to get some feedback from you guys. Hit that like button if you liked the content that we put out today. If it answers some of those questions, give us a 1. If there's any remaining questions, start them with a question mark, and we'll do a handful that we see in the chat. So start your comment with a question so that we can kind of see it, and we'll ask John real quick, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sounds good.
Oh, so we're gonna power through a couple more.
Yeah,
It's
let's
up to
just do a
y'all.
few more.
Why not?
Are you good with that, John? Just a quick.
Yeah, I'm here, man. Shit, like
Oh,
not
dude,
even likely.
Yeah, that's a good
you
one.
know this was my passion on this. Golden Tee Silver Strike Bowling. Will we see it?
You'll see Golden Tee. You won't see Silver Strikes. Another bowling game, though, likely. But there's still a good. I forgot what it's called. Is it World Class Bowling or something like that? There's gonna be a bowling game. It won't be SSB, but this game that we're gonna put on to the next, I guess, iteration of Golden Tee.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun. I forgot. Like, is it World Class Bowling? I forget, but it's not SSB. But still, it is.
So
Bye,
really quick,
honey.
From
I know,
Stringer
but I
Films,
usually
so-
don't.
Bye, hon.
So Stringer Films, he's actually a film guy. He works for, what is it, Atlanta, one of the TV channels over there.
yeah.
And he actually did the video editing for the video of Zohar that you just watched. He asked any spots open for Arcade1Up video production head.
Ooh.
He's fast. He's good at Premiere.
He's very fast and he's very good.
He's the one who helped us with our lighting and our cameras. He's knowledgeable about, all that stuff.
Let me hit him up. Why don't you hit me up and then let me see your work. We're always looking for good talent for sure.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Let's see.
I love good
else you got,
video production people.
Yeah.
It's always a good talent.
Justin,
So
I'm like I got to pee soon. So,
So
I'm
a
trying to
lot of
wrap
the
up show
questions-
before.
A lot of the questions we kind of avoided this where we're just like, let's pop off a whole bunch of, will you
Sure,
do this? Will
why
you
not?
do that?
Go ahead.
But maybe we'll go through it real quick and you
Yeah.
can at least acknowledge that the community is interested
Sure,
in this.
for sure.
So we got
You got
Tekken and
Justin, I
Soul
gotta go
Calibur.
pee. I really,
All right,
really do
go
gotta
ahead.
Go ahead,
I'll
you
do that.
go, and me and Justin got this. Tekken
Hold
and
on
Soul
before you
Calibur, not next year.
Okay. 6-player X-Men.
I can't comment on that.
Okay, hold on. So many people just commented that it just flashed down
I know,
with a million.
I know people want X-Men 6-player, and it'll be interesting to see how we can fit 6 players in one cabinet. It's likely to have to be wide. It's likely to have to be widescreen or dual screen, but I can't comment more anything about that right now.
Okay. We got a big list here. Indiana Jones, Tekken,
No.
Soul Calibur.
Yes, Qbert, Countercade, it's a tough one. It's a diagonal gate.
Right.
And so, I don't know any other games that does diagonal gate, but if we're to do a Qbert, likely Countercade or a mini arcade would be okay with that. I just don't know what else to pair with Qbert. Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, Dig Dug, Rally X, blah, 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 whatever. So, I don't know what this is. A run-on sentence. Yes, we'll continue to do more Miss Pac-Man. We'll continue to do, it's Pac-Man forever, guys. Just understand that, for years and years and years and years to come, deal with it. But
yeah,
that
my
doesn't mean
guess
we're not
is,
gonna do other things. Okay.
Pac-Man's got to be, I'm just going to guess here, it's a third of your business. You don't have to acknowledge, but that's what I think. I think
I
you've
will
sold
tell you, Pac-Man is
300,000 plus Pac-Mans. That's my guess.
probably more.
So then the percentages are even higher.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't have the numbers in front of me. Just know that Pac-Man is the most popular arcade game of all time, the most successful arcade game of all time. And when people have that first entry point, it's usually Pac-Man or other things. So, are we always going to do Pac-Man? Yes, in some sort of way, because that's people's entry point to our products.
And it
does that mean
funds
that
all of the development for every other title, right?
and it doesn't slow down the development of other titles. It's just
No, funds it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It pays
There you
for it.
It totally does. It totally does.
John,
So,
I wanted to follow up on
Pac-Man
when
forever.
You said, when you said there's another Golden Tee, is it going to be like an updated Golden Tee, or will it be the same Golden Tee game with?
It'll be an updated Gold
Okay.
Tee. I don't know exactly what form factor. We're not discussing that now, but we will have another Golden Tee SKU that has different games as well as
Sweet.
bowling and a couple other stuff. Yeah.
So
Sweet,
pinball
okay.
for
And
Australia.
hopefully leaderboards. If we can get leaderboards on there, that'd be great.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You
That would leaderboards for Golden Tee would be
Right.
sick.
I
Actually.
think so.
Because there's a huge community. It's unbelievable how many Golden Tee games are still out in the wild in the United States. It's a ridiculously big moneymaker for Incredible Technologies. If it was possible to tie it in and have that'd be really fun.
Yeah,
Actually,
any leaderboard game, that'd be a good one.
that is a fun leaderboard game without
That
question.
would be. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite cabinets currently.
I agree. Me too. That is still one of my favorite ones of your guys' cabinets for sure.
Me too.
So you going wide on pinball? You think we'll see it in Australia?
Yes, eventually next year.
Do you think you could secure the license for KISS pinball?
We can. The problem is with music licenses and everything else, what's tough is will KISS allow us to do other titles within that? It becomes very political when you talk about music bands. So that's what we have to figure out. Will Def Leppard be on there? Does KISS play well with, so it's just, yeah.
Wow.
A lot of
Interesting.
complications with that. But I mean, shoot, KISS is a IP that Scott's worked with years and years ago. So it's something that we're looking at. But
Okay.
complicated. Just as complicated as a universal pinball table.
So we got pinball in UK. I think you kind of answered that. You're going to try to get that wide.
No, next year.
NFL Blitz.
No comment.
Oh, look at Vic. Hold on. Go back to Vic. Do you see Vic's little picture? His picture is soon.
Killer Instinct.
Vic, this one's
Killer
for you, buddy.
Instinct. I mean, I love Killer Instinct. So just
That one was real.
You went
All right,
real.
all the other ones were fake. Okay, fine. I'm coming clean.
Killer
I'm
Instinct.
coming clean. I had tea in this little thing, and I wasn't drinking real whiskey, but that one was real. That one, I promise you, was real.
I love Rare. I love Killer Instinct. I love Microsoft. I love Battletoads. I like RT Pro Am. I love all of their lineups. So we'll see.
Tapper as the unique cabinet, maybe.
No, not as a standalone, but probably in a compilation.
Oh, Tapper's great. Great game.
Yep.
We did talk about this already. Shooter cabs in the works.
John,
John D, how do you stop people from seeing your hands in the Infinity table card game?
Oh, so it's touch sensitive. So, like, say if you're playing Scrabble, right? You could either kind of just put your hand down and it touches it, and then you can see your tiles, right? And then when you take your hand off, then it's all.
Oh, that's pretty
down.
cool.
It only
right?
reveals when you hide it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Right,
Wow,
and then,
that's pretty
and then
neat.
also, like for games like Battleship, you can use physical barriers, right? If you like, or you could just do this the whole game, which is kind of tiring. But there'll be options for both.
Very cool. Yeah, I didn't expect that. Let's see, any Konami games in the works?
Hell yeah, a lot of Konami games in the works. A lot, especially next year. It's a big year for Konami next year.
Great. Why no Miss Pac-Man stools?
Stools are licensing, but we have stools that kind of a similar colorway that you can match, like the QVC ones, like the blue and yellow ones. They should match fine.
Zohar says Costco version of Miss Pac-Man?
I think so. I think there's definitely a Costco version of Miss Pac-Man. I don't know exactly right now like what that is, or can probably announce that yet because Costco has to announce it on their own. But yeah, possibly a Costco version for sure.
Reset.
I think.
Said,
I love Track and Field, man. This is one of my favorite games, man. Fun. I love Track and Field.
Star Wars Trilogy Arcade?
Soon.
Oh, dude, no!
Come on!
No, dude!
No. Hold on, I take that back. I don't know.
I can't use the T anymore on this. Justin, you're being such a puss. You're doing you didn't even do one real one. You didn't do one real one.
I can't say anything about that. My bad.
Look,
was that one a real one?
It's not so soon. It's not so soon.
Whatever.
You guys caught me,
Justin. Justin, that's T in there. What are you trying to prove?
That's right. There's no T left.
Okay. Anyways. Okay. Do we have any time for
Zaxxon?
We got to.
Maybe in a compilation. Maybe Zaxxon in a compilation. Maybe.
Possibly. I like Zaxxon. Possibly. Maybe in a countercade or something like that.
Oh, that.
Who knows?
That means a widescreen, huh?
Hey, this seems possible with your relationship with Capcom. Alien vs. Predator seems like a good compilation game. I love that game.
Yeah, I love that game too. So Alien vs. Predator is now owned by Fox, which is now owned by Disney, and then
Capcom. It's not Capcom anymore.
No, it is. It's half owned. So the code is owned by Capcom, and the IP is owned by Fox/Disney. So, yeah, I mean something that.
So you'd have to work with all of them to get that to happen, then.
Nothing new. I mean, we do the same thing for Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd love to see it. I don't know when, but it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite games. AVP.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
I think you answered this already, Pac-Man. So, does Arcade1Up feel pressure to add more than 3 to 4 games per cap due to competition for Mac games, Arcade?
Not necessarily. You know, there's times when a few games make sense, and the times where they don't. So. You know, like I said, I love those games, but you know, they're only dealing with single SKUs. You know, we're a collectible company, and so there's a lot that goes on in terms of deciding a game list, and you know, that's from like the publisher side and our side, and what's in the roadmap, and you know, as we continue to go along this journey, you're going to see a lot of older games being compiled into, you know, like compilations, whether it's 12-in-1s or 20-in-1s and all that stuff. But
that'd be cool.
You know, yeah. But our model going forward is, you know, having themed cabinets with, you know, 3 to 5 games in it. You know, if it only has 2 games, then that better be an awesome 2-gamer. You know,
right?
So yeah, so it's just yeah. I don't know what.
So I got to bring this one up again because this would be sick. Like I would be really into a Street Fighter 2 live cabinet. I mean, that would get me super pumped. So like, can we? I know you.
What else would you like in that cabinet? I mean, so we live, and of course we've put a lot of teasers out there. I kind of want to see the Big Blue come out.
If you give me a Big Blue Capcom with live enabled Street Fighter, I'm buying that. I'm sorry, that's an instant buy for me. Well, let's buy.
Let's talk about, because you know I'm a Capcom guy. Let's talk about like our dream cabinet when it comes with the Big Blue. I want to see like, you know, Capcom Sports Club on there. I want to see like, you know, Super Puzzle Fighter. I want to see like Darkstalker. I want to see a whole bunch of Street Fighter games, all that stuff. All online and a big ass marquee, taller.
Shanti,
than
I want the biggest ass marquee on that. I want
Dude,
it to
you're
be
gonna
this
see that.
gigantic, the old
It's gonna
big
be huge.
big ass thing.
It's gonna be huge. So like
Biggest marquee I ever seen. It could be just a giant marquee. I don't even care. I have to have that cabinet. If that's the cabinet, you gotta do that, man. I'd
Just
be
wait
so
and
into
see.
it.
I'm neither confirming or denying.
We're
anything
gonna
like
be
that. I'm just
broke.
wishing, So if
I mean, there
that-
is a problem though. Like, you guys should almost like have a. I do have a major issue right now. Like, that cabinet comes out. I gotta be. If that cabinet comes out, I'm buying that all day long. But we have issues. But we'll go into this another time. I already earlier tried to.
just message me later your issues and we'll talk about it.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. We'll do some private little session. All
The private session.
right. Cool. I think we gotta wrap it up, Justin.
Yeah.
We gotta take
That's
it
it for
home.
me.
We're 2 hours.
That's
2
it.
hours.
I'm done.
We're done.
We're
All
done.
right, guys. Thank you so much for watching our show. Thank you, John, so much for coming on
Thanks,
our
buddy.
show. I was expecting a lot of soon, but it was really cool. And, I want to be honest with everyone. We put together a big list. Just transparency here. We put together a big list of what are the questions that we were going to ask. We sent it over to John. He didn't even look at it. He said, you know what? I want to wing the show because I want to be
That was
transparent.
awesome.
That's all real, guys. That's really cool. The show had zero prep, and we didn't know what was going to come out of it. It was really awesome that you did that. I really apprate it. So thanks for making it a fun show, John.
Yeah, it was literally just, it was awesome that you did that because I'm like, hey, this is going to be cool. We are going into it. We don't know anything that you're going to say. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, we appreciate you doing this. And we will definitely, if you're up for this, no, you don't have to confirm now. But if you want to do that holiday show, we're all about that holiday show.
Yeah, we got to. I think we got to.
Yeah, so
All right,
on the
cool.
way out, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Check your notifications. Make sure they're set to the right settings that you like. We prefer notifications because we go live without announcing. And, you want to be informed about our future videos. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys. Let's do it together on the next one.
The next one.
We'll see you guys.
Take care, guys. Are you hitting end or
Hey,
am I
there's
hitting
no
end?
final thoughts?